Today is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026, and the Huskies have a fresh start. This is Talkin Husky Hoops.
It is a UConn coronation. The Huskies make history. Back-to-back national champions.
I'm Mike Gizzi.
And I'm Will Jeong.
And welcome back to the 14th episode of Talkin Husky Hoops, where we talk all things UConn men's basketball, from game previews and breakdowns to everything involving Hurley and the men's team. Like always, Will, how are we feeling today?
Feeling okay, another week of Big East basketball. This team has had its trials and tribulations, but you know what? It's a power conference, Big East basketball, and that's what UConn is here to play, and so I guess let's get right to it.
Yes. This past Friday, sadly, number 3 UConn fell to number 22 St. John's at Madison Square Garden by a final score of 81-72. St. John's was primarily led by the dominance of Zuby Ejiofor's 21-point double-double, on top of two great performances from Bryce Hopkins and Dylan Mitchell, who started off this game looking unstoppable at the rim, while also having a major tip-in during the final moments of this game to really send it home for the Giants.
Yeah, so great game from St. John's. Don't want to discredit them at all, but UConn also was relatively efficient from offense. So they shot 55% from the floor, and I believe they were 47% from three. Led mostly by Silas DeMary Jr., 18 points, Alex Caravan, 17. But, it was a great offensive game, except for the free throw line, I would say.
You're right. They did struggle at the free throw line. They shot 42%. They've struggled this season.
Yes.
I mean, we've seen it. Certain players have struggled. Certain games we've done better. Certain games we've done worse. This season, they ranked 258th in free throw percentage among Division I teams, just shooting shy of 70%. Not great, but
no, it's not.
It's something that we've been saying since the start, has to be improved, but it really hasn't yet, and we definitely saw it, and it kind of cost us some crucial points to say down the stretch in this game. On top of it, UConn turned over the ball 15 times, 9 of which came from DeMary Jr., which is a trait that's become a bit more prevalent over the last few games. 16 total turnovers in his last 3. I mean, yes, he's been great on the offensive end, being able to obviously score, assist, and grab some rebounds for us. And we have obviously seen he is on the defensive watch list for the midseason. But just a tough game for him in general. On top of it, it felt like a lot of our guards, including Silas, struggled towards the end of the game with Dylan Darling. Just a force off the bench, speedy, and it looked like he just really couldn't be stopped.
No, not at all. And, these have been problems that the Huskies have had to face with all season. Mm-hmm. You've seen free throw shooting and turnovers. It really has been a prevalent problem for the team thus far, and every single game, especially throughout Big East play, it has come through. It's been prevalent in the game flow, and sooner or later it was bound to bite this team back. So I think against an environment like Madison Square Garden, against St. John's, biggest game, it's bound for something like this to happen.
Definitely. I mean, we can also talk about possible poor officiating. At the end of the day, you can't blame the game on the refs. We got our opportunity at the free throw line, just like we said, and we didn't make our baskets. They got their opportunities. They made them. And you know what? It might have been the difference in this game, the amount of free throws taken in comparison, but we just have to stop playing sloppy on the offensive end. UConn has to stop playing sloppy on the offensive end to really better this team and push us forward down the stretch.
For sure. If you want to look at the bright side, though, I mean, turnovers and free throw percentage, those are the biggest nitpicks of how this team has been doing thus far. And you know what? It's a power conference. We're bound to lose. Well, the Huskies are bound to lose a game here and there, and that is okay. So if you look on the bright side, I mean, this team maybe needed a touch of reality, and I think this loss ultimately could be productive for them.
Definitely.
To be able to maybe bounce back from this, and we'll see how this team will bounce back and maybe be able to close out Big East play if they can win out. That'd be incredible. But you know what? A loss here and there is not the worst thing in the world.
Definitely gets that giant win streak off their back, maybe removes some of the pressure, and kind of alleviates them and allows Hurley to really push them harder down the stretch, fixing certain holes in their game. I have no doubt that they're going to get pushed these next 2 weeks, especially on the lead up to the rematch against St. John's.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, we got some news now this week for the Huskies. Starting off with Alex Karaban is on the mid-season watch list for the Karl Malone Power Forward of the Year award. This year he's averaging 13.5 points a game, 5.5 rebounds, 2.3 assists on just under 48% from the field.
Yes. And in addition, Terrace Reed was also named to the mid-season watch list for the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Center of the Year award. Terrace is averaging 14 points per game, 7.7 rebounds, 2.1 assists on 64% shooting. So all around, just great to see the starters getting that attention.
Yeah. The Huskies are one to two teams with 3 players on the positional watch list. I mean, that's a big nod to them. Purdue is the other team, and I also believe Arizona has 4 players, which, you know what, for one of our 2 losses, you know, you're kind of glad to see a team with such big prestige.
Yes.
You know, getting the recognition they deserve.
Absolutely.
Both Karaban and Reed were both on the preseason watch list, so it's good to see that they're maintaining the level of play that was expected from them preseason, and definitely a big congrats to them for playing so well so far.
Yes, and on another note, Silas Demery was also added to Big East Weekly Honor Roll after averaging 17.5 points, 6.5 assists, 5.5 rebounds, shooting 65% from the field, and 57% from 3 in last week's outings.
I mean, just incredible. I mean, we talked about his bit of his struggles, but offensively he still continues to get it done. And you know what? We can't really ask for more. Just clean up the play a little bit, and just don't allow these bad games here and then to get in your way.
For sure.
Let's move on to the AP poll review.
Yes.
This week, obviously, UConn slid down to 6 after their loss to St. John's. Other big losses, there was a lot of big losses this week inside
Yes.
the top 10. You had Duke lose. You had, well, more recently, as of yesterday, Arizona, first loss of the season against a team that we beat already, Kansas. Illinois fell. Who else moved here? We've got Florida, big jump, 3 spots up. Another team would put St. John's, obviously, after defeating UConn, jumped 5 spots to 17. And overall, the Huskies' schedule so far, it's been big for them. It's been big. All these opponents that they played earlier in the year have done well to prove their strength of schedule has definitely been up there.
For sure. And the most important thing is this is conference play after all. Every team is going to get bashed around. So even Arizona, as flawless as they've looked, frankly, they're bound to lose something at Allen Fieldhouse. And even though the Huskies were able to emerge victorious, I believe that is Kansas's only home loss to date on the season. But still, this is conference play, power conference. Every team is going to suffer these losses, including UConn. So, you know, there's bound to be movement, but yeah, this is just another week of the madness, I guess.
Yeah. Big news came out this past Monday. Well, actually, about late Monday afternoon, it was announced that Emeka Okafor would have his number 50 retired and hung the rafters next Wednesday against Creighton. Okafor played for the Huskies from 2001 to 2004, in which year he would win the National Player of the Year and lead the Huskies to its second national championship victory, while also taking home the honor of Final Four Most Outstanding Player. Some other awards in his time as a Husky include Consensus First Team All-American, National Defensive Player of the Year in both 2003 and 2004, and a handful of Big East honors. He also led the program in all-time blocks with 441 and field goal percentage with a career average of 59%. Congrats, Emeka, and we can't wait to see you next week as we hang your banner in the rafters to forever be remembered as a Husky.
For sure. Huge part of that 2004 team. Really.
Yeah, definitely.
Could not have done it without him. Speaking of other Huskies who are rookies of the year, just want to also give a shout out to Steph Castle for being the youngest player in NBA history to put up a stat line of 40, 12, and 12 in a game. That is just incredible. Castle on the season is averaging 17 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, 7 assists, and shooting at 47% from the field.
I mean, great second-year numbers. Many players have sophomore slumps. That definitely not him.
No, not at all. The Spurs are looking really good as well this year.
Yeah. We've talked about the Huskies' past matchups. We've talked about some news. Let's get into the Huskies' next matchup, or next 2 matchups, because we only have 1 episode for you this week. UConn will head to Hinkle Fieldhouse on Wednesday, hoping to bounce back as they take on the Butler Bulldogs in what is considered a homecoming game for the man they named Mr. Basketball in the state of Indiana, Braylon Mullins. Butler holds a current record of 13-11 while being 4-9 in the Big East, which sits them in 8th place. UConn took down Butler earlier this year when they kicked off their Big East schedule at home with a 79-60 win, where Solo Ball dropped a season-high 26 points.
Yes. So the Huskies have taken on the Bulldogs before. I think it's safe to say that they know exactly what to expect. Now, this game previously was in Connecticut, so headed to Indiana. It's a basketball-rich city, so Hinkle Fieldhouse always will have a treat for any Big East fan. But last outing, Butler had a pretty poor shooting night. They only shot 30% from the field and I believe 21% from beyond the arc. So these numbers are significantly under their season averages, but I think that just shows that the Huskies can play pretty good against them.
Yes, definitely. So far this season, they've been led by Finley Bizjack, 17.9 points per game. That's third in the Big East currently on 44.8% shooting. They have a signature win this season versus Virginia early in non-conference schedule, where Virginia's now ranked 15th in the nation according to the AP poll. So a big win for Butler early in the year. They've had their ups and downs throughout the season, but they're currently riding a 4-game losing streak coming into this one, and lost 8 of their last 11 now.
Oof. Well, yes, so after all, UConn is on a losing streak as well after St. John's, but they're looking to bounce back a little bit, back to that form of prior to that game, maybe to the Creighton, Providence, Xavier level of play. This is a great opportunity for the Huskies to bounce back.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Xavier, by the way. Played very tough versus St. John's last night.
Yes, they did.
Definitely gave them the run for our money. But this matchup against the Butler Bulldogs will take place at 7:30 tomorrow night on TNT. Now we'll move into our next matchup against Georgetown. Saturday, February 14th, the Huskies will have a Valentine's Day date with the Georgetown Hoyas as basketball returns to stores for the first time in February. I'm not sure if you were aware of that. The Hoyas currently have a current record of 13-11 while being 5-8 in the Big East, sitting in 6th.
Yes, so last time the Huskies took down Georgetown just barely in DC by a slim margin of 64-62. Love is in the air during this game, to say the least, and it was a close matchup last time. I think that was mainly a result of poor UConn shooting. I think they only shot 36% from the field and 19% from 3. So a really poor outing shooting-wise. They went 2 for 8 from the free throw line, which is why this game was really so close down the stretch. And really there was no standout performer, I guess, was really the main factor as to why the team maybe didn't look as hot.
Yeah, looking back, I rewatched the game earlier while creating the notes for this, and I realized there wasn't anything special from UConn. And one of the big performers from this game, not for UConn, but for Georgetown, Vince Iwuchukwu, double-double, 12 points, 14 rebounds. So if UConn can really limit his ability off the glass and maybe stop him from getting all the way up to 14 rebounds, they can definitely stop this game from being so close on the defensive end, on top of maybe being more efficient and creating better looks on the offensive end and getting more shots to fall.
Yeah, for sure. So throughout the season, it was a little difficult to preview Georgetown this closely since it was over winter break the last time they played, but led by KJ Lewis, who's averaging 15 points a game, over 40% shooting, and Malik Mack, averaging 14.5 on 37% shooting. Solid scorers from Georgetown, just classic Big East guards and forwards just all around. Georgetown is a historic program, and you never really can count out this team in Big East play.
Definitely not. I mean, Georgetown, just like Butler, has a signature win of their own. They defeated Clemson, who's currently ranked 20th in the AP poll. I mean, wow. That is, say what you want about the Big East not being so strong this year. They've had their take of signature wins.
For sure.
And, to say that's 2 ACC wins, too.
Yes.
So you know what? Maybe you can make the claim Big East is better than the ACC,
Maybe.
or at least certain teams. But you know what? Definitely big win there for Georgetown. They have won 4 of their last 5 outings, lost their last one against Villanova. But you know what? That's good for them. They've got. I doubt that they were favored to win that game, and you know what? It's good. They probably have a bit of momentum going down the stretch. A loss here or there doesn't really, push you off your game. Maybe just gets you to rethink a few things.
Yeah, absolutely. So this game will happen at Saturday, February 14th, 8 p.m. back at Gamble Pavilion. Like you said, the first time the Huskies have been in Connecticut this month, which is interesting.
Well, they've been in Connecticut. They played at the People's Bank
Yes,
Arena. But
first time at Gamble.
First time at the basketball capital of the world. A reminder, UConn is adding legendary defensive center Hashim Thabit to the Huskies of Honor at Gamble Pavilion. If you can't make it, watch it live on Peacock, as he said, Saturday, 8 p.m.
Yes.
Lastly, let's move on to we usually do our vibe of the week or our mood of the week. we're moving on to the moment of the week.
Yes.
You know, I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think so too.
The Silas Demery Jr. dunk. We've said a lot about him this episode, but he had an amazing dunk against St. John's right over Zuby Ejiofor, and it was just amazing.
It was pretty.
So, but with that, thank you for tuning into this episode of Talkin Husky Hoops. We'll be back next week to break down both matchups this week and further preview the matchup versus Creighton for the Huskies. But for now, I've been Mike Gizzi.
And I'm Will Jeong, UCTV Sports.
Go Huskies.